How'd you do?
I got
50%.
and then I went to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sit. Shh. Elijah. Zip your lips. Mason. Oh, did you know someone running or did you just watch? Two people? Any family members? Don't think so. Richard. Is Bailey gone today? Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right. That's why Miss Campbell's gone. That makes 10 times more sense. Riley. What? No, try again. You did something. What'd you do? Try again. Riley, what'd you do? I'm sure you can think of something else. We'll come back to you. Landon. Played outside. Very good. You can't copy him. You gotta try something else, Riley. Taya, we'll come back to you. We'll come back to Riley, I mean. So, Taya. Basketball? A tournament? Hey, how'd you do?
What?
How'd you do?
Let's just say
Okay.
and I went outside.
Josie, what'd you do?
I had a basketball tournament.
What'd you do?
I sprained my wrist.
Your basketball tournament?
No, so we're bumping each other.
You were what?
We're bumping each other.
Wait, you injured your hand booty bumping someone.
She was doing it, and then she was stepping on my foot, and she hit me really hard, and then I fell on my wrist. But I didn't know until this morning.
Okay. I would have made up a better story than that. Mason. Shut up.
Friday nights.
Looked over, sleep over. Hallie.
On Saturday I had one tournament and I went to basketball. And on Sunday I jumped down a trampoline. I lost my tooth.
On Tuesday you're supposed to lose?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then it's all good. Levi. Evan.
I went outside and I went to my uncle's and we mowed his lawn. It actually wasn't that boring. Because I went on a bunch of stuff.
Riley.
I watched
The what?
NBA.
Oh, okay. Alright, here we go. Remember there's a test on Wednesday. Here's the problem of the day today, a review problem, old one.
I didn't watch the NBA.
Let's see what you guys do.
Did it turn on? Yeah.
They'll be turning it on for us. There it goes. Alright, notebooks should be off. Or I will take them. this one.
The other side or other side?
The other side of the same. Yeah. Oh, perimeter. Oh, that's easy. Make sure you don't do area, make sure you're thinking perimeter, not area. Otherwise you will get it wrong. Alright,
No, it's not.
pretty darn close. Alright, if this long side here is 150, what's this side gonna have to be? So how much fence do we have so far there? 300, which means we have how much left? 200. Two sides, each side is going to be 100. Mason, I said you do not need this up. I can't see your face. Okay, so each side is 100. Okay, pretty simple. Here's the thing today, or here's how this week will go, I should say. Wednesday, remember I said will be the test. Okay, Wednesday. So as in 2 days from now. Tomorrow we'll do a review. I'll take questions on the study guide, and we're going to do something a little bit different tomorrow, so we'll see how that works. Never done it before. Today, one more thing out of the book, one more lesson. That lesson is this. Okay. If you remember back to when we reviewed a couple things before the state test, I drew a couple line plots that looked like this, where you had your number line, and let's say the number was 6, where you could have a dot with an arrow going one way, or it could be a solid dot. I didn't really talk about it, but I mentioned it. What do you think that means if the dot goes here and then with an arrow going up? Any idea? So 6 or what? How would we say that? 6 or higher, 6 or bigger, 6 or greater. That's what we're doing with today. All these answers will have multiple answers, more than one. So in that example I said, like Emily said, you could have 6 or more, whatever we're talking about here. Okay. So you have to write 3 inequalities. Do you remember the signs? So I'll tell you right now, none of these will probably have equal signs. Any idea what other signs you could use? Yeah? Greater than or less than, or there's actually 2 more you could maybe use. Remember they're on the sheet over there in the pink. We have less than, we have greater than, and there's 2 more. Josie?
Less than or equal.
Okay, and remember that's the arrow with like one of the lines, the equal sign underneath it, and then the other way around. Okay, and I'll put those on the whiteboard so you can put the names so you know which one's which. Okay. So here's an example. The bungee jump at Wild World charges $35. Pretty simple. How many jumpers are needed for the jump to earn income of more than 1,050? Okay. So if it's going to be more than, do you think your answer is going to have to be like, obviously it's not, I told you it's not going to be equal to. So your answer is going to have to be greater than what, do you think? You're going to roll today, fun. Very good. So anyone think they know the equation for this one? Because that's one of the first things you have to do is write an inequality, write an equation, an expression. What do you think it's going to be? Now it doesn't say per person in here, but really you have to think about this. How much are they charging to go on this bungee jump? Do you think that's for a group, or do you think that's per person? It doesn't say. It is going to be per person. So how would we write that? You could do n for number of people. Very good. 35n, and we said that has to be what? Emily, you said that has to be what? Greater than what? 1,050. Could it be equal to that? No, because it says it has to be more than. Okay, so there's your equation for the first one. 35n is greater than 1,050. Okay. Oops. Then you have to give at least 3 numbers that'll work. So you have to find 3 numbers for n that will work. Again, you could have, how many answers do you think there are for this? Infinity. Because numbers never stop, they keep going bigger and bigger and bigger. So you just gotta give me 3 numbers that will work. Okay? Does that make sense? That's what you're doing for all of these. If you're not sure what they look like, they should look something like these. You might even have like an x plus something. Okay? And again, I'll write the signs on the whiteboard so you know which ones are which. Any questions? No.
Could you like switch the number and switch the sign?
You mean put these in the other spots?
Yeah.
Like the 10, yeah, and then the spot sign.
Yeah. Okay.
One question.
So today, same thing as always, except now we're doing inequalities. The answer does not have to equal a certain number. So we just did the first one together, we wrote the equation. Yes, Evelyn. Good question. That is on page 99. Okay. So here's what you got. I'm going to let you work with a partner today, just because this is a little more challenging. Okay. But I should not hear talking about your weekends because you already shared your weekends.
Mine was boring too.
Well, that's a bummer. All right. You should be working on the math. This is the last thing before we start reviewing tomorrow. I'll put the signs up on the board. We may get started.
Sorry, but
This is a new concept, Lisa, so until we know that you know it very well, probably shouldn't go here.
actually,
Oh, yeah. You're still solving the shape. You just have to do that, whatever.
wait, describe this.
Greater than this. You guys technically divide that size into 35, right? Because this line is right. Right? The opposite No, that's just to. Okay.
Yeah, it would. It's not that's how much I have. Just stitch it.
Yes.
First go
On the one to the line. Yeah. I wrote on the way. If they letter and it's they keep less than or that would not be equal. That was just a problem more than. That's right. It can't be equal. It's gonna go equal to or more.
So that's for one. All right, girls, you get it? You need to stop. Oh, it's up to you. So here's what I want to know. No. You gotta actually say what but you have the answer. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. So, when you have this. Now, tell me, when is that going to be?
So the first one we could do.
Okay, and three, that's one we have on this side.
Do they see the two side? A and B to solve the problem, okay? What?
This side is greater than 1,000.
You have to solve for it.
So what will
What kind of
be on this side?
And there's less outplay for
If
F.
it's greater than 1,000.
Just find out what F can be. So like F, pressing something, the B F is less than, so.
1,051, right? So whatever
The next one would be
whatever I multiply for has to be 5 times 4. Why? It's 35 times 1 is. What if I said I minus 3?
Well, which side did you?
the
Side do you have? No, you have a side here or less than side.
This is
This is a 7. That should not be a 7.
Okay, so that means we're going to do 30.
Mr. Station, I hope I told them to, right?
You never even told us anything.
You two girls.
You're
Give at least 3 specific numbers.
That's
easy.
oh, because it's
They want the answer, right?
Yeah, three numbers that work.
Not 3. So who's, so what I really just,
So where did this is give 3 answers?
So it'd be 37 points.
How is that?
Give 3 answers to that problem. It's not just read the equation, you also gotta get 3 answers. So what can n be? N can be 4, 5, So 4
Let me show
you could spend exactly 17
So we did
Mine is just 95.50. Then it's $1 per.
Remember when you get so
Boys, Andrew,
what did you get?
what are some possible answers?
It's what's
Three numbers. One equation, that means equation is
do 49.25.
What's the equation?
If I do 35 times yes, you do know, you just need the opposite of it. It could be, I can think of it.
Well, think it as equals if you want to think of it like that, then just make equal sign.
If you just divide it by
You should be able to read that in your equation. Gas station has a $3.
I know we want to see
$4, $4,
Does that mean 1,050 on this side is greater than 1,000? So then I'm doing my higher number. So
What else
I
do you know?
say, if I put in,
So what's the equation? Can you spend more than 17.50?
if I put 30.
You can't spend exactly. Please spend less than that. Okay, so how would you write that? What equal sign you would use? 4 times what?
N equals 31. So I put 31 and I substitute 31 and 10, what did I answer? I know it's
That's
Oh, yes, yeah.
whatever it
So
has to
if
be less
I
than equal.
multiply 35,
We're going to take this all the way.
And you just have to tell me where 3 numbers are.
Make up the
What
problem.
are 3 possibilities?
so if
I
I
don't need the
multiply
equation, all I need is
35 to 31, but I could say one.
After like 5 times reading it, go on the
Yeah, so we can something in one form.
Yeah, the graph for F1 that we never graphed. That's not the graph for F1 that we never graphed. So, that would be on that graph. It's like literally your master okay, so first
Can we go over but that's gonna say 40. He's showing me something
Question on which one?
D1, man.
You're just telling me what's happening. Like, does that be F equals something? It'd be like this is less than something. That is greater than something. You're just solving it like you normally would. Right now, just bring that to the first side. And that's not the same. What would F be? What would F be? F can't be 4 because it's going to be
15.8. I'll tell you later. 15.8. All right. Actually,
you should be able to solve that equation.
no, okay.
You'll be able to find out what F is.
No,
So what am I gonna do?
Yeah, you're supposed to take less of that shit. Mellow that sugar. You guys, you have to get design. You don't get it. Sell that. You have to like say yeah. Oh, God. I hear you back. So let me Did you do it, Bella? I did it. Yes, give me. Yeah, we're gonna take this too. Oh, this is your note. Okay, you're not gonna go. You need that. No, this is you have a way of knowing what page is Would we actually very ladylike. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My whole skip 3. That's not gonna work. That would never happen. I'm gonna get like
When you substitute
Really, Jenny?
so when you're putting money,
I just try to get cold.
Oh, what was that? It was something for a free burger I saw.
Kill my
I ever seen Stella's nobody so we didn't even get They don't get it. Guys, you want
She's a little.
1945 and have that.
26.
26 to 3/4.
So if you're adding 22 and a half, right?
It's always not back, that's stated.
Negative 20.
So it says our cost is.
Well, interesting, that's the only guy. No, 8 is.
25 and a half plus 22 and a half is not 49.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's.
Yeah. Figure it out. Did factor in zero. Maybe you should rewrite it so it's equals X. We did it for a reason on Friday.
Oh, yeah, I keep thinking so.
No,
Well, you
it's
got
not.
one right. It's 17 minutes.
It's quite difficult. We did factor in on Friday. You rewrite that. Just pretend it's a
How are you?
Levi, you're slow.
It's 100.
It's basically the same thing as this, except it's plus 6. So 6, 8 times 7 is 56 plus 6. Are you on the right one?
Because you're not working. You don't want me. You're looking over here.
Never fix that equation.
Everybody's looking more. Jason, you do not need your pay up.
I said you did the same one on Friday, it's right here. The same exact one.
You need to think about what you're ready.
You need to go back to this question and this question. So talk to
You skipped it.
It's 7x plus 6.
You got 3 minutes. You got 90 minutes.
And it's less than 2.1 less.
That makes no sense.
7x plus 6.
How are you going to make 0.18 to 22 and a half? You don't get anywhere close to 49. How are you going to get
They go and do it, so make
any sense? It doesn't. The first one I know is correct. The second one,
Remember, you're a
I know I do.
go fix it. Well, remember you want it to equal X.
You get the category. So.
Yeah, that doesn't equal X. Not really.
You know, a curve. We already said when we see a curve. How do I rate that?
6.
You don't have rate 1.
6 times 0 is 0. Plus 1 is 1. I don't even. So I couldn't. 26.
If you give me
There's homework tonight. I have to work on the study guide.
This round, I'm gonna throw homework. All right.
But you're missing one ad. We're missing.
Hey, I have one of these.
Levi, we have to write an equation.
So now.
One, yes,
There's no enter. The end.
You have to write the equation.
In order to find the answer.
You have to write the equation for all years.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Throw books down. This was challenging.
Yes.
5 seconds. 5, 4.
Make sure you see that.
Oh, that's the one that we technically did the other day.
I know, but I don't know if they ever show that they have to vote.
All right. Then we're gonna do B and then C then. We'll do B and then C. Now, good news is this for some of you. Good news is there is not one on the test that's dealing with an inequality.
Yay.
But I may put one on there.
Yay.
Okay, so let's do B quick first, then C. Okay, like I told you at the beginning of class, none of these should have an equal sign today. They should all have an inequality sign, less than, greater than, maybe a less than or equal to, but greater than or equal to. Okay, this one, a keyword in this, I'm talking about B. Keyword in B is what? You should read B and go, oh, there's one keyword. Olivia? Per gallon. How do we write per gallon? $4 per gallon. How do we write that? Huh? How do you write $4 per gallon? 4N, sure. Some people did 4G for gallon. I don't really care. Okay? So, we got that part done. So, that's costs $4 per gallon. How much gas can he buy if he has $17.50? Question, can he spend less than $17.50? Can he spend $10?
Yes.
Good. So, how are we going to write that, Ashton? Or N. Remember, no equal sign. Okay. Less than. Okay. Actually, it could be less than or equal to, because you could spend exactly $17.50. So it should look like this, and then the $17.50. Okay. Now it said list some possibilities that could work. And some of you don't even really have to solve this equation to figure that out. So what's a possibility for the number of gallons he could buy? 1, right? Obviously that's less. 2, 4. Can 5 work? How can someone say, why is 5 not work? Jacob? How do you know? How do you know you can't get it? How do you know 5 doesn't work, Alex?
Because it's $20 for 10%.
That's over his amount he has. Okay? So one of the questions, I don't know how many of you did this, but when you got to D you had to do this, is solve for N. Figure out what N is. Right? And I told some of you, pretend it's just an equal sign for now and solve it like you normally would. So if we pretended this was an equal sign, it would actually look like this. And all you should be able to solve that because we did it on Friday. And remember I said maybe some of you can do it in your head and know what to do. Some of you might need to write the fact family. Okay? Does anyone know what the equation would be if we wanted to equal N? What's our equation going to be if we wanted to equal N? 2 2 people here remember fact families. Oh my goodness. Lord help us all. Fact families, we've been doing this since probably the 3rd month, 2nd month of school.
Last year.
Yeah.
Okay, did we 1750 divided by 4?
Very good. If you can't do fact families, I don't know what to tell you right now. You need to practice these something. You've been doing these for months. Okay? Now we just divide. When you divide that, what do you get? When you take 1750 divided by 4, Evan, you get 4 point what?
375.
375?
Yes.
Okay, so 4.375. Alright? So, but n can't equal that, right? Because our equation doesn't have an equal sign. So here's how you take this and write it correctly. We put it back in for n. So n stay n, and we keep this same sign. 4.375. That's how you technically write it. N can be less than or greater than, less than or equal to 4.375 gallons. Does that make sense? Because you said you could buy 4, you said you could buy 3. That's why you put the less than or equal to. You can solve it with an equal sign, but make sure, don't forget to put the actual sign that was in the problem back in there. I think some of you are still stuck on trying to solve for n. It's not the sign that's getting you messed up. It's just finding what n is, which is a little worrisome because we got a test on Wednesday. Okay, so we're gonna practice it again. Here's C. C we did actually on Friday. It just had an equal sign. If you remember this question, this was dealing with the bandanas, right? The design cost. How do we write that? Don't worry about the 400 or anything right now. How do we write the 95.50 and the dollar per bandana? I just see everyone's hands up because we did this on Friday in here. Let's go. You wrote this equation on Friday. I know we talked about this one on Friday because I remember talking about the dollar per bandana. Riley. I didn't know it was time to go already. I don't want an answer, I want an equation. Not going to be 400 minus anything. You guys wrote an equation on Friday. That equation will come in handy right now. Riley, you better be writing this down because you didn't have it. Kylie.
95.5%
Okay, very good. And you could have had, instead of just plus n, what else could you have had technically? 1n. But remember, anything times 1 is itself anyway, so you could just have n. Very good. And now that cost, it says right here, keyword. If it says less, what sign do you think you're probably going to use? Less than. Less than what? 400. It tells you that right here. It says less than 400. All you're literally doing on these, like I said before, is taking the words and writing it into an equation. Less than 400. That's how you write it. Okay? Riley, you write this down. Keep you sitting there. Okay? Now, how could you solve this? If I said, what's n? How are you going to find out what n is? What did I say you could do? Yeah, so what? How many bandanas did they sell? 304? How'd you get that? I think you're correct. But how'd you get that?
Because it has everything spends 400 and then it's 399. Or 95. 95.50 plus 304 is 99.
Can they spend exactly $400? Is that possible? No. Very good. Correct. That's why you cannot spend exactly 400. The most you can spend is $399.50. Okay. So I believe you're correct. It is 304. But how would you write that? Because n can't equal that. Remember? Because you technically could buy more than you could buy less than 304, right? You could buy 300. You could buy 200. How would you write that? Because it's not n equals. N is what? Look at the problem. N is what? N has to be what? Abby, N has to be what? It's not equal to. Huh? N has to be, what's the sign we have up here? So N is going to be what? Less than. I'll tell you right now, if the sign in the equation is less than, N, your answer will have to be less than. It's never going to switch. Well, for right now, it's not going to switch for you guys. It will later, but right now, no. So N is less than what again, Elijah? That's not what you told me just a minute ago. 304. And if you're wondering, oops, that should be a 0. I was going to write a 4 by accident. If you're wondering how you got 304, maybe you should go back to Friday's work and see. But if we rewrite this so it equals N, you would have N equals 400 minus 95.50. And that's how you got the 304. Actually, it comes out to like 304 and a half, but you can't get half a bandana. So that's why it's just 304. Your homework tonight, you have a table. You have to finish, actually 3 tables. You have to finish the table and write the equation for it. Study guide, you have no homework tomorrow night. Then figure it out. You had all weekend to do it too. You did not have basketball 24/7 for 2 days.
Yeah, we had to stay.
That's true. Well, that's not my problem.
Sorry, I had Nathan not wanting to go, but who knows where it's going.
No. The study guide, you did see that's posted though, right out? Nadia, I don't even, do you think it's all a sign? I think it's just trying to find what the letter is. And what? Mason Richard D, right? C was given. She didn't do C.
Greater than one. Which is recognition of the sign, so these are the all three numbers plus the word.
And then when we talk about keyword, if it says less, I mean, it tells you exactly what it is.
Because I don't, well, and I guess it was not, I didn't think if 7th grade even touches in on this, but I don't, like, I have no idea, so I don't know.
Hey, 7th grade is a lot of inequalities.
Okay, so this is just really an
Introduction,
introduction.
And it's not really on the test. Here's a, and I'll send it to you, the test, but here's what I was going to do
Well,
yesterday.
yeah, I don't know what to do with her.
I haven't done this before, but I was thinking, here's the tests, and it's really like questions 1, 5, and 4 on the study guide, are like the 3 big ones. So here's what I was going to do. I was going to give them maybe a little bit of time tomorrow to work on the study guide, maybe 10, 15 minutes, work on it in class, ask questions. And then if like I'd break them up and say, if you struggle with number 1, go to this table, and here are 5 more problems like number 1, work on this. So then they kind of have to pick.
Okay.
But so that's what I've been